This morning we've been doing FPMT's introduction to mindfulness meditation. So this morning we're going to do morning, Coral. We're going to do a meditation on functional thinking, and I might be able to get 2 in, but we'll just see. I'll start and see where we get. Okay, everybody. So just meanwhile, just settle into your meditation posture as best you can. And just check where you're at this morning, just knowing that however it is you're turning up, it's totally fine. This is just where we are right now, and it could change in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If somebody is unmuted, muted. Just check. Sorry, before I go on. All right, that's good now. So many of you are sitting at a desk or on a chair or couch looking at your computer. So if the feet are down on the ground, have them about a hip's width apart, and make sure you're sitting on top of your sits bones, and shoulders are aligned with the hips, and really lengthen the spine. Put some space in between those vertebrae. The head is very slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. Just release the jaw, and if you wish, the tip of the tongue could be on the roof of the mouth. And then just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and just release any tension in the scalp and the face and the throat, the back of the neck and the body, shoulders, back, chest, belly, and your limbs. And then just bring the mind to the breath and just noticing the sensations as the air flows in and out of the nostrils. So really just focus on the sensation. It could be at the base of the nose. And in terms of your breathing, some people are more familiar with noticing the sensation of the chest rising and falling. Some people are more comfortable with the belly rising and falling. Just notice the sensations of the air. And just be aware if there are any sounds in your environment. This morning I have a fly friend here with me, so you might hear it buzzing around. And take a nice deep breath. And just think this morning we're going to do this meditation on the benefit of all the people in our life. Our loved ones, the ones we aren't so in love with, and then there's our strangers. Bearing in mind they could change place, these relationships at any time. And also remembering they're equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity for this Buddhahood. So we're doing this meditation for all these people of our life, by extension, all sentient beings, and of course for ourselves as we move along our path. So we're going to give mindful attention to the different kinds of thoughts that arise during our meditation. So to help support this process, we will make use of our breath sensations. So whether that sensation is at the base of the nostril, the rising and the falling of the chest or the belly, and this will anchor our attention during the gaps between our thoughts, or if we find ourselves being dull or drowsy or distracted. So we can return our attention to the breath sensations to steady the mind and make it a point of reference. And also it's a way to help us discern what thoughts are arising without getting caught up in them. So we can regard the breath as a companion that can accompany us on our meditation journey without necessarily feeling that we have to focus on it at all times. So I think I mentioned to some of you in the Dharma talk at Green Gulch, which is our Zen center here, a little bit north of San Francisco. The teacher mentioned this intimate relationship that we have with our breath. It's the same, and it's very supportive, close relationship, that the same like we have with our mother. It's kind of comforting. So just allow that. I don't think we are all aware actually of how comforting our breath is. And perhaps we don't realize that until then one day, like many people experienced in COVID, they can't breathe so well. So just take a moment to appreciate and be grateful for the breath that we're just breathing in and out. So simple. So to facilitate this process of discernment, make a note in the mind, such as thinking. So when we become aware that there's a thought that has arisen in the mind, and we can repeat this process, working on refining our awareness of thoughts and even start to discern what they're about. So as we go through the meditation, you may be able to recognize thinking as thinking, just like that, or you can refine your power of discernment by differentiating the different types of thinking you're involved in. So you can replace the label thinking with words that better reflect the contents of your mind. So thoughts about the past could be noted as remembering. Thoughts about planning could be planning, and those involved in fantasies as daydreaming. And this way we can become more mindful and perhaps a little bit wiser in regards to the types of habitual thinking we tend to engage in. So just notice the sensations of the breath, notice the sensations of the body. And just relax. And notice areas of softness and ease and relaxation, and those areas with comfortable feelings. And can we welcome these feelings and allow us to enjoy ourselves while they're there? Perhaps you have areas also of tension, tightness, and discomfort. And can you acknowledge them for the time being? And don't feel that we need to change them immediately for the better, just let them be. And check in with the sensations at our face and just release any tense muscles there. What about the jaw, the forehead, the nose? And can you relax those muscles and get a different feeling, one of softness, ease, and comfort? into your face. Just allow this softening and relaxing to spread on its own to the rest of your body as we continue to settle into meditation. So maybe see if you can highlight the sensations that are associated with breathing. As I mentioned earlier, some of us may just feel more comfortable noticing the sensation of the breath as it moves in and out of the nostrils. Some may notice the movement of the chest, expanding, contracting with each breath. And others may be more comfortable being aware of the rising and falling movements of the abdomen. So just for a moment, just rest your attention on some of these breath sensations and allow yourselves to fully experience the in-breath and out-breath. So rest your attention here with your breath. And each time you notice yourself breathing out, let's use it as an opportunity to release. So releasing anything unhelpful or unwanted, just in the same way we breathe out to let go of the stale air in our lungs. Regard your breath as a resting place or mindful attention, a place you can always come back to at any time to steady yourself. As you become aware of the presence of thoughts that you were already involved in thinking, turn your mindful attention to those thoughts and recognize what we are engaged in thinking. So we might want to mentally make a note, thinking, be clear about what we have discerned. So without getting entangled in the contents of those thoughts, we can easily return our attention to the breath and release those thoughts on the out breath. As you recognize that your attention is drawn into thinking, just simply take note of that as thinking. You might also want to label it planning, remembering, oh, there's some fantasy. Now remember to keep any judgment, opinions, etc., away from what's in your mind. So you're like an objective observer, watching with curiosity and interest and compassion and love, the same way you would care for a child. And come back to the sensations of the breath. So as you're applying mindfulness and discernment to your thought processes, you'll become aware of the variety of thinking that you're engaging in. And not all thoughts are necessarily harmful or dysfunctional. And much of us engage in quite a lot of functional thinking that contributes to our success in our work, in our jobs, in our relationships, in adapting to different living conditions. And our ability to think is vital to our problem solving abilities and our creativity. So, as we practice this kind of meditation, mindfulness of thoughts, we become more proficient in this process and we can recognize thinking as thinking. We can refine our power of discernment by differentiating the different types of thinking our intention is involved in, as we've just been doing. So that you're just shining a light on how you can become more mindful, perhaps a little wiser in regards to the types of habitual thinking that we tend to engage in. It's just to become aware, it's not to beat yourself up. Just notice. And we can learn to let go of those things that are no longer serving us, these kinds of thoughts, and we just release them with the breath. So even though we are using a few simple terms like remembering, worrying, daydreaming, and so on. So the act of excuse me, noting or labeling these verbs or concepts is also a form of thinking. We can regard this as functional thinking because it serves the function of helping to strengthen the discernment of thoughts as thoughts. And this helps us protect our mind from falling back into believing in and following these involuntary thoughts, and helps us to recognize the type of habitual thinking our mind would tend to get caught up in. And then eventually this leads to the understanding of these underlying reactivities that drive our choices and our actions. And it helps us to initiate this process of releasing and letting go. So we kind of withdraw our investment of our attention and belief in the contents of these habitual reactive thoughts. And we learn to realize they're not the reality of our life. So now we're just going to do a very short meditation on loving kindness towards ourselves. So we'll choose a few simple phrases that best express our understanding of what it means to love, to care, and to show concern. We have some stock phrases. You can change them as you go along and develop your meditation. So you can start, may I live in safety. So you're wishing oneself to feel safe and to have security in your life. May I be happy. You're wishing oneself to feel joy, cheerfulness, and happiness in the mind and heart. And may I be healthy. Wishing oneself to enjoy physical health and well-being. May I live with ease. Wishing one's daily life and workflows to be smooth, easy. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So repeat these phrases slowly and mindfully at your own pace, and stay connected to the intentions behind the words, and extend loving kindness towards yourselves. Keep coming back to the phrases when you get distracted, and don't worry if you're not feeling particularly loving. You can allow your heart plenty of time to catch up. It will start to respond in its own way. And you can rely on the words to guide your heart towards loving kindness and away from this critical self-talk that we often have, this conversation with ourselves going on in our mind. Occasionally, a warm feeling will arise of love and kindness. Just entwine this among the phrases and offer them to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Deep down, all of us want to be happy and not suffer. Can we pause and think about this statement? Is it true for you? How does this wish to be happy manifest in your life? And when you're ready, you can come back to the phrases and continue to offer loving kindness to yourself. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. You can also briefly reflect on other reasons that activate loving kindness for yourself. So some of you may see the goodness within you. Others may remember past experiences of happiness and wish that to continue. And still others may sense the yearning for love within. It's all available to you. It's all your right. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So let's just dedicate the meditation this morning for the benefit of all those people of our life, all the sentient beings, and for ourselves as we move along our spiritual path. Everybody, thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed that. And thank you, Lou, for hosting. Lots of love, and I'll see some of you this evening. Okay, thank you.
That was
Bye-bye.
wonderful.